Shut up and sit down.
Oh no. Dylan. It's the CandyMan.
Hey man, I told you to stop masturbating when we're doing the podcast, alright?
And welcome to the People's Review Podcast. I am your host, Masturbator Jay, along with my co-host.
It's Dylan. Sorry I ruined the creepy intro. I don't know. That's all I could think of. I was just hearing some heavy breathing on the mic being like, no thank you. I don't know what candy you got, but I don't want any of it.
Dylan is clearly trying to forget his youth when he used to play Call of Duty and all these grown men would be heavily breathing into the microphone.
Yeah, it was just a big old circle jerk. That's what Call of Duty is. Everyone going, you stole my kill! I prestiged! Anybody got a girlfriend? Me neither.
Do you think the Candyman would be just as upset if Freddy or Jason had stolen his kills?
I don't know. I mean, Candyman's killing with a purpose, though, I think. Freddy and Jason they're like clowns, man. They're just killing for no reason. Jason went to space, like... Freddy's just like killing people in their dreams and shit. Candyman's out here. He's only coming when he's summoned. LOL. It only comes when it's summoned, baby. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Oh god, this is terrible. Man.
Me and the Candyman got a lot in common.
And welcome to the People's Review Podcast. My name is Dylan, and I'm here
I'm the Ghostface J.
Ghostface J. And we're here talking. It's still Spooktober. I got a spooky drink called Mountain Dew Code Red. Not sponsored.
Sponsor us, Code Red.
It's red like the blood of my enemies. It tastes like cherries, I think. I don't know. I don't think it even tastes like cherries. I think it just tastes like red flavor.
What does it taste like? Blue.
Tastes like red Mountain Dew.
Taste like?
And I don't know. It just tastes like Mountain Dew, but like red. But I don't know what red tastes like.
But if Mountain Dew is green, so you kind of know what green tastes like.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, let's not discuss the world of artificial flavors and the sugars that we pump into our bodies on a daily basis, making us the most obese country in the world.
Woo! Number one.
Number one! Finally, number one at something. America, let's go. We're here to talk about CandyMan.
The CandyMan.
Relatively a new film. Which I don't think we've done before. Like a new film.
Yeah, this would be literally one of the first.
One of the first new films ever that we've reviewed.
Yeah, we usually tend to stay like in the 2000s, 90s.
Oh yeah, the golden era, let's say. lots of good stuff there. It's all aged great, and we all still have frosted tips and bead necklaces. And Scott never died; it's still alive forever. We're all just skanking down the street on our way to work, and Guy Fieri is the king.
Yep, we're still wearing our Jenko jeans.
Oh yeah, still
good times.
Good times.
But speaking of the 90s, this film is actually a sequel to the 1992 film CandyMan.
CandyMan?
The CandyMan can.
'Cause he makes the world taste good. Oh man, that might be the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory with Johnny Depp in it might be scarier than this movie. Honestly.
This movie was not at all scary. It's a great story.
Okay.
Listen,
Relax.
Dylan, listen. To me, I've seen scary movies since I was like 6 years old. Maybe to me is just, not as scary anymore. Because honestly, I was like, the whole time I was watching this movie, I was like, that was a pretty tame kill. I've seen a little gruesomer. 4 kills throughout the whole movie.
There's more than 4. He kills 4 people in that bathroom.
Yeah, I'm saying 4
alone
kill scenes.
That's all you need when the story is good and all the themes tie together, and like, what a beautifully constructed film. Maybe not scary in the way that's like, oh god, gore. Like, like Saw. Like Saw is just shock value. It's just, oh my god, that's disgusting. That's the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. Oh, that's the next most disgusting thing I've ever seen. It's only been 10 minutes in the film. Like, this is a horror film in the way that the story and the themes and everything else, the kills, all just winds together so beautifully. So maybe not scary, but really, really good.
But like, even the scary parts don't like really build any suspense. There's like, when I was watching the movie, pre a kill about to happen, it didn't really feel as suspenseful.
I felt it,
like that second kill where he thinks that the lady is in the bathroom about to get killed. She doesn't get she's still alive, and then he just leaves the apartment. And then she just gets killed.
But that's the point. It's the misdirection. It's playing with your emotions. And that scene where he is the CandyMan in the mirror, so good. I thought that was super well done.
I don't know. I just think when I'm watching a scary movie, I want it to do the thing that it's born to do. Scare me.
This is more than just some schlocky B horror movie, though.
Yeah, but even other scary... I don't need it to just be kills. I just need it to be give me more of a suspense factor.
It was suspenseful.
Give me a little, oh, don't go in there, man. Don't go in there. Like, even that scene when she was in the laundromat, opening up each door, I was like, this isn't doing much for me right now.
Well, I understand where you're coming from, but man, this movie was so artfully done. All the shots, the lighting was so good. I like how the story, the themes, and the kills all wind together. Social message on top of the personal story of the artists. God, yeah, everything just tied together. He's fucking rotting at the end. And also I hate bugs, so maybe that put me over the edge where it's like, oh, bees, and I got creeped out. So that might be for me personally where it got oh, bees. I just don't like bugs.
I mean, I hate bugs too, but I do agree with you. It is a very well-structured film, and the story is great, but I just wish it was a little bit more suspenseful when it came to the parts where an actual killing was about to happen.
Yeah, I mean, I think that built up to the end. That was the end, right? God, the twist, the plot twist, bro, the plot twist.
The plot twist that the guy who told them originally about the CandyMan.
No, that Anthony was the baby.
I mean, I kind of felt it coming the whole time the movie was going.
Oh, okay.
Come on, let's be honest. He starts getting really into the Cabrini thing. He starts to feel once they talk about the murder scene where they're saying this kid was chosen by the CandyMan. It's odd that the main character throughout the movie is starting to devolve into the CandyMan this way. Why?
Yeah.
Why wasn't he killed originally when he said CandyMan 5 times?
Because he's the baby.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You could tell from the beginning he was important in some factor to that original story.
Well, besides the fact that he's the main character.
I mean, yes.
Alright, so CandyMan is a story about Anthony and Brianna, who are an artist couple, basically living in the Chicago art scene, trying to make a name for themselves. And Anthony is trying to find inspiration for his art. He has no inspiration, so he stumbles upon the story of the CandyMan, who was a killer in the projects, and He had a hook. He gave kids candy with razor blades. Real creepy guy. And he finds another guy while sort of searching the projects, trying to take pictures for artist inspiration. Finds a man named Burke who tells him about the legend of the CandyMan, how the wrong person was killed due to racist police brutality, and they killed the guy that they thought was the CandyMan, but CandyMan kills still kept happening. What's going on? So basically, Anthony sort of is learning more about the legend of the CandyMan while slowly becoming the CandyMan. And his art sort of goes into the news because their murders happen at the gallery where he's showcasing his art, talking about the CandyMan legend. And so people start doing it. People start saying CandyMan in the mirror 5 times and getting killed. And he starts to go crazy. So the scene I want to talk about first, because I had a real good belly laugh, was there's like the news I don't want to say art. Why am I thinking of the word article? News story on the news on TV about these kills, or the first kills. There's like a douchey gallery head and the co-ed college student who he's banging, and they both get killed. And they're saying like they got killed in front of the art piece called "Say My Name" by Anthony. I forget his last name.
McCoy.
Andy McCoy. Anthony McCoy. Yeah, I think Andy McCoy is some other guy. Anthony McCoy. And then it just cuts to his face being like, wow, say my name. They said my name. And then it just cuts to the wide shot. He looks over and his wife and her brother are just looking at him so horrified. Where it's just like, he hears about the murders of these people that he knows, and he's like, say my name. Wow. They said my name. It's just a hard cut. I just lost it.
Wow, Dylan. Wow, just.
It's like I know it's bad that they got murdered, but it's still nice to be mentioned, right? Right?
Hey, doesn't matter. Got famous.
Doesn't matter. Got famous. Dab it on them hoes. Hose mad. Hose mad. Hose mad. So yeah, that's if we're talking about not scary moments in this horror film, that would be my number one not scary moment of this horror film.
Well, can we just talk about that whole leading up to that murder scene? So I'll talk about the scene that leads up to that first murder scene.
Ooh, provide a little context.
So the guy who gets killed is just a grade A douchebag. So he already fits criteria number 1 on the first kill of any horror movie. He's a douchebag. He's also in a art museum alone with his girlfriend or buddy. I don't know.
Or someone. This is an inappropriate mentor-mentee relationship. Like we're bordering on calling Chris Hansen. I understand you were at the art
Chris
gallery.
Hansen. I said his name 5 times. Someone is going to go to jail.
He's not walking in with the transcript of your conversation with an underage decoy.
You
you
wanted to do this to her.
I was just coming to hang out is all. I just wanted to be a friend.
I came here to watch the Ravens versus the Steelers. Dylan.
Steelers and the Ravens. Oh, John, that guy. I don't want to say their names, but
say his name, Dylan. Say
his name. Say his name.
Wow,
Steelers and the Ravens.
Everybody.
Steelers and the Ravens.
Steelers and Ravens.
Maybe my favorite TCAP line, or not TCAP. That's Hansen versus Predator.
Oh man,
it's a different show.
Okay. But just leading to that scene, and then so we have the first criteria, douchebag. Second criteria, they're about to have sex, right? And then
I don't understand why they're like tie their pants together.
Yeah,
What's up with weird. That?
Yeah,
what is that?
She tied his pant, she clipped onto him like she was about to
But you're gonna take your pants off.
Yeah, That's what doesn't make any sense. Like, she clipped onto him like she was about to jump off an airplane with him.
Unless she has like a butt zipper to go along with his, like, the, on guys' pants you have like the dick zipper.
Hey, listen. What they do in the privacy of their own art galleries is fine with me.
You know what? Maybe that's why they deserve to get killed by the CandyMan for whatever kinky shit they're trying to do.
Well, like, the whole time she's like, he's like caressing and kissing her. She's like, CandyMan, CandyMan, CandyMan.
Hey, some people into some
CandyMan.
wild stuff, man. Some people like to get tied up and get punched and choked out. Maybe this is like leading into some weird BDSM stuff.
I mean, she did technically get choked out, but like the worst kind of choked out. You know what I'm saying?
Ba-dum-bum. Hey, happy Halloween.
I'll be here all day.
At least till the end of this podcast, which you can listen to on Spotify, Apple, and Amazon.com/CandyMan. Oh, I did!
Dylan's gonna die. Don't look at the mirror, Dylan. And then, the Candyman gets her first, and then, he's like trying to unhook. He's like, oh shit, why'd I tie myself up to her? What the fuck was I thinking? I'm a moron.
That's when you make those like, oh, I was too horny and I made a mistake. Why'd I do this to myself?
Is that like the man's mind pre-nut versus after nut? Where
Yeah.
Pre-nut is like...
Yeah, pre-nut is just like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, tie me up. I don't care. Yeah, let's tie our belts together. Yeah, whatever you want to do. And then post-nut, you're like, oh, man.
What the fuck did I do?
I think this was a mistake. I think I fucked up.
I fucked up.
Oh, shit. Candyman's here.
Is that post-nut clarity?
It's Willy Wonka. Oh, no. How did I end up in the factory?
How did I get here? I knew I shouldn't have brought that stupid golden ticket. I knew it was a trap.
I got a golden ticket. I got a golden ticket. I don't give a fuck about your chocolate, Candyman. I mean, Willy Wonka.
I just wanted to make sure the Oompa Loompas were not by themselves, okay, Dylan?
So, Mr. Wonka, you invited a 13-year-old boy named Charlie Bucket to your factory for a tour?
I mean, I invited other kids, if that helps.
You invited more kids! But yeah, no, that guy, you're right. Classic first guy death. Douchey, asshole, art guy. Especially, like, the more pretentious type of art people who are just like, oh, what the piece is saying in my head. How does it make you feel? Oh, the vibes. I felt the vibes from this piece. You're telling a story here. Ooh. Yeah, that guy get killed by the Candyman.
He became the first victim, and then it was just funny, like him running towards the door, and like the door is made out of glass. Just fucking break that shit.
I mean, I guess in movie logic, yes, but in real life, have you ever tried to break like a glass door? Shit's hard.
Listen, you get some momentum, you good to go.
He's an artist. He has no momentum. He's never lifted anything heavier than his cell phone in 20 years. The guy's had no upper body strength.
No wonder it took him so long to wriggle out of that,
Wriggle out of the belt.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, hey, that's your mistake for just being like, yeah, man, just tie me up in the belt, whatever. I'm about to nut. And then...
Listen, you only get tied up in bedrooms. Everybody knows this, okay?
Yeah,
we
and
made the pact.
Oh, was Candyman their safe word? Oh, I just realized that the way I have my microphone set up, I am looking directly into a mirror. So I'm probably going to die soon. Like, straight up. Like, I'm probably going to get killed soon. So this podcast ends early. That's why.
Dylan, that's why yesterday I broke all my mirrors. I'm 3 steps ahead of the Candyman.
Yeah. Yeah, hold on. Let me grab a PS. Oh, here's my PS3 controller. Don't ask me why.
Just pretend like you lost a match of Call of Duty and chuck it at the glass.
Oh, why am I playing Call of Duty on PS3? The stealth processor. This is dumb. I think our podcasts are getting dumber.
Or are we just dumber?
I'm certainly dumber. So, yeah, I think in this movie, I think I have, well, while watching this movie, this is something I've kind of known about myself for a while, but I think I'm just grossed out by like gore. Just like gore just makes me like squirm. Like no matter like I understand that I majored in movies. I understand that shit is not real. Special effects, practical special effects, and computer special effects can make some really realistic looking blood and gore. It's all fake. It just doesn't. I can't stop squirming when I see it. It just like gives me that pit in my stomach. I'm just like, oh. Like regardless of like how cool or not cool the kills are. You know, I think that's just, but that's a me problem. So that may be why I was more like, whoa, for this film.
Honestly, even like, I can't, like, even when they were killing the high school kids, I don't remember it being that gory.
The blood poured out of the stall.
Yeah, but you didn't, like, really see their bodies. You
Yeah,
just
that
saw
was the
blood.
least gory one. The one the first one where the girl got, like, we're talking about how she got choked to death too hard. Like, that was like, oh my god, how disgusting. Like,
Yeah, that was way gorier than any other scene
Yeah,
in the movie.
I'm just like-
Everything
like
else
those-
was really tame.
those type of scenes, and like at the end when Anthony is all like either burned up or just has like is a living beehive or
Yeah,
whatever's
his
going
body
on.
looks like a honeycomb.
It looks gross, dude. It's nasty. Ugh. Yeah, I think that's my like kryptonite with horror movies. It's just like, oh, gross. I just can't get over it. Even though I'm a grown man who has seen like more horrific stuff on the internet. Or like watched Gordon Hayward's leg break.
Oh man, don't
Like-
remind me of that.
Yeah, I mean that's like that's
game. That was the worst game of basketball to see.
yeah, that's gross. In a similar way to that, I find this gross. But like, I understand that's real and this isn't. But just gives me that same like, why did I do this? So I don't really have a point to that. I'm just that's just me. Horrified by gross things.
Now, is there another scene you want to talk about?
Let me see. Oh, I do want. I think all the cutout animations are cool. When they're talking about like the past events of the CandyMan and the lady bringing out the baby to the bonfire. I like all those like cutout scenes and like that whatever that animation is. I thought it was very good. And
It's kind of like shadow puppets.
yeah, like cutout shadow puppets.
Yeah.
I thought that was real good. I thought I also want cinematography and lighting. I thought all of that like this movie looks really good and I like the framing and it just visually very very good. Shout out to the director whose name I just had up.
Nia DaCosta.
Yeah, Nia DaCosta, and this is another Jordan Peele film. Jordan Peele on a bit of a roll with these horror movies. Very well produced, very well done. In terms of in those regards. Oh, and Coleman Domingo. I like his performance at the end when when Brianna is captured, and he's sort of just like freaking out, talking about the CandyMan. I thought that performance was like genuinely creepy. So shout out to Coleman Domingo. That guy creeped me out.
He had Dylan in a tizzy.
I just thought he's just like the body convulsions, like trying to like sort of control himself, but he's just like the CandyMan. Ugh.
He's the CandyMan. He's here to help us.
The CandyMan, and I also I like the subtle like some of the speaking of cinematography, there's some of the shots where the CandyMan's like kind of being summoned. So like in the girl's bathroom scene, the girl's like taking a couple steps, but like behind her is the mirror. You sort of see some bugs in the mirror, where like it's not in focus and it's not the focus of the scene. But if you look over there, you know the CandyMan's nearby. And I like those like subtle like they're doing what they can with the space filling the frame with information for you to digest and understand the story.
Yeah, there was a lot of scenes where once the Candyman's name had been said even once or twice, you could kind of start seeing a shadowy figure there would always be a well-placed mirror, and you could kind of start seeing his shadowy figure, populating it.
And I guess I want the last scene I really want to talk about is the ending scene. I don't know if you found this like goofy or not, but or maybe like I don't know if heavy-handed is the right word here. We are the wrong people to talk about the social messages of this film. That's something you should listen to people of color discuss in detail and learn from them. We are the wrong people to discuss that in detail, so I will refrain from doing so. Listen to the people in your communities. But the end of this film, Anthony is shot. They just opened fire on Anthony, and they're trying to blame Brianna. They're trying to like pressure Brianna into saying like, "Oh, he came after us. We had to shoot him down. Who's gonna believe your story?" She's like, "Can I see myself in the mirror?" He's like, "What?" Like, it has the initial reaction of like, "Fuck no!" Like, what are you talking about? Which like, there's a couple of those moments in this film where like, especially in the beginning when the brother is talking about Candyman and he's saying like, "Oh, there was like, she was doing snow angels and blood," and everyone stops like, "Bullshit! Fuck you! This isn't real." Like, at the very least, stuff that you could see actual people saying.
Yeah, that's one of the things I really liked about this movie. The dialogue didn't feel like forced. It felt like, how I imagine someone would be talking about stupid shit like this. Like, if this started happening, like, in real life, we would have been like, shut the fuck up. That's stupid. You sound ridiculous right now.
Or, like, when Anthony's saying, like, I summoned the Candyman, Brianna's like, "No, he's not real. Candyman's not real. You're crazy. I'm leaving. You're going insane. What the fuck are you talking about? There ain't no Candyman." But at the end, she obviously is she's seen the Candyman in action, and she sort of believes and looks in the mirror. She says, "Candyman," increasing the volume, and then, "Oh, it's Anthony as the Candyman. He slaughters all the cops." And then, like, I guess, like, she was handcuffed the whole time. So I guess she really can't be blamed for it, but yeah, did you find that end scene goofy, or I thought it was like kind of satisfying, but maybe trending on like a little goofy.
So yeah, I agree with Dylan about his earlier message. Listen to the people in your community about actual stuff that happens.
Yeah, I know that I'm not the person to speak on this in detail. I am more a part of the ignorant masses who are, in the past few years, let's say, learning more about these issues from my ignorance. But that's just me personally. I can't speak for Jose either, but sorry, I did not mean to interrupt you.
No, you're fine. But yeah, the whole ending sequence felt kind of goofy because why all of a sudden was Candyman more of a protector now than a killer when it had shown. So one thing I didn't get was, so they're saying that Candyman is supposed to be a protector of the innocent, but why had Candyman killed so many children beforehand? When...
You know what those children were doing? They were cutting class, probably. We don't know.
Yeah. I saw that kid skip his bedtime. That is a true monster.
Those kids are doing wine coolers in the parking lot, smoking cigarettes.
Everyone knows what wine coolers leads to, Dylan.
Oh, it leads to weed, which leads to the cocaine, which leads to pills, which leads to injecting pills, and all of a sudden, you're doing other stuff, and you're in a crack house. Smoking that glass dick.
But, yeah. So, for him to just all of a sudden be, like, more of a hero character at the end instead of, like, what he's supposed to be, the murderer character. But But maybe it could also stem from the fact that a lot of the people who were the Candyman throughout the years were brutally killed by police officers and other people who, were out to get them. So that could also be a factor into why at this one sequence, instead of killing the person who summoned him, she killed all the people around.
Yeah, and also, like, since the Candyman is now Anthony, I think, or part of Anthony is now the Candyman, maybe the soul of the Candyman recognizes her and is like, let's not kill her. Or maybe it's like leave a warning, like, oh, tell everyone that you saw the Candyman.
Is she going to be like Jamie Lee Curtis in all the Halloween movies, where she's pretty much invincible?
Yeah, just being like, I saw the Candyman in 2021. It was a wild time.
I know my first movie came out in like 1970 something, but in 2021, shit was popping.
And speaking of that, isn't the actor from the original Candyman in this film as well?
Yep, he played the guy who was the original Candyman in the first film is also the Candyman in this film.
That's pretty cool. Like that's a nice like continuity thing, or that's cool.
That's a great way to, like, one, you get rid of the first actor and you bring Anthony as the new Candyman. That way you have more of a continuation.
And now we can set up the Candyman cinematic universe.
Candyman versus Freddy versus Chucky versus Jason. I can't wait to fucking see that film.
Oh man, that's the thing about horror movies is that, like, I think this one's very well done and constructed and artful and all that stuff. But the thing with horror movies is that it doesn't matter how bad it is. You can make a horror movie for like $5-7 million, and then sell it, and then the box office will make like $30 million. That's like that's a profit. So horror movies are like famously profit generators because people just want to go see horror movies and go, "Whoa! I jumped at the end. That means it was scary." And then
kind of like Paranormal Activity, right?
That's Paranormal Activity. This film kind of. Do you remember that terrible horror movie a few years ago called The Bye Bye Man?
The who?
The Bye Bye Man.
I have never heard of this movie.
So this movie it's really terrible. We should watch it sometime. The Bye Bye, it's basically like the tagline is "Don't think it, don't say it." So, like in this film, you say Candyman 5 times, the Candyman gets summoned. But in Bye Bye Man, if you're even thinking about the Bye Bye Man, he'll come to kill you. And so if someone says to you, "Bye Bye Man," and you think the words "Bye Bye Man," you're gonna get killed, which makes no sense. It's terrible.
I just thought of it, Dylan. I'm a goner.
Yeah, it's also like the worst acting and like it's just terrible. But it was made for $7 million, made $30 million in the box office. Doesn't matter how terrible it is. Like, I guess that may be different considering theaters. I don't know what theaters are pulling these days in the post-COVID universe, but
$11.50. That's it.
But you can make a terrible horror movie for a relatively small budget, and you can make money off of that.
Maybe in a pre-COVID world, but now if stuff's going straight to video on demand,
yeah,
that's tough because guess what? Video on demand is like $10 for a movie, and
yeah, well,
some horror movies just don't play out as funny or like as scary without being in like a big crowd.
Oh yeah, without like the 32 speaker surround sound that you get in a theater and a 5,000 inch screen, or you're getting a like super duper projection, and you're with a bunch of people. It's late at night, and you exit the theater and you're trying to scare each other like, "Whoa, I'm Candyman," and like you push someone into the road or something. I don't know.
What? The road?
Yeah, why not?
Sure.
Get wild on a Friday night. Or a Tuesday night, or whenever this is.
Friday night. Who
Friday
the fuck goes to a movie?
night.
You can only go to a movie theater on Tuesday night because it's a really popular movie and you don't want to watch it with everyone and their mother.
Well, I also only go to the theater never now because I have streaming and fuck that shit.
Yeah, I feel you. I've
No,
only
I
been to the
am.
movie theaters once, and it's not worth it.
I do kind of miss going to like Coolidge Corner Theater and some of those kind of theaters, but like not like an AMC or like a Regal Cinemas. None of that shit anymore.
Yeah, it's done with you.
And speaking of done, we're done with this conversation. I think about the Candyman. I'm going to give it a thumbs up. There's enough good here. Well shot. Well, I think I'm not the scariest film. I think the all the other things, the story, the social messages, I think it all ties together real well into a cohesive film that felt well paced throughout. Yeah, watch it. Why not? Fuck it. You got nothing going on, podcast listener.
Yeah, podcast listener. You have nothing better to do.
You're listening to this.
85. What?
You're listening to this podcast. You have nothing better to do.
You found this obscure podcast going down one of your podcast rabbit holes.
Also, not to
are.
insult the, thank you, but yeah, that was a joke.
For me, story, acting, this is a thumbs up movie. Horror wise, this is a thumbs down, which leads me to give my kind of meh overall.
But like a little more up than down.
Yeah, I'd say the hand is going a little bit more up than it is going down. But I think, this is technically supposed to be a scary movie. It's, maybe a little bit more gore. Maybe a little bit more suspense leading into the people being killed. I don't know. I felt like it was really short, but the scenes where there was a killing about to happen, they just felt flat to me. If when I'm watching a scary movie, I wanted to build suspense in me, and when I'm going to bed, I want to have a nightmare that night.
Why do you want to have a nightmare? What's wrong with you?
Because Dylan, it's normal to have nightmares.
No, it isn't.
Once in a while, they are.
I don't want to wake up and be scared and shit. Like,
it's the CandyMan.
Ah, or my nightmare sometimes is waking up and I realize I don't have it so much anymore. I think I aged out of it, but throughout a lot of post high school, I would wake up and be like, "What? We have to go back to high school for 6 more months because our high school diplomas don't count." What? No.
Dylan, that's just a plot line of a really bad B movie.
Yeah. Hey, maybe that's my next project. We gotta go back to high school. Oh, I'm gonna get beat up again.
We're copyrighting that, Hollywood. This is the official People's Review copyright notice.
Yeah, don't fuck with me, directors, or I'll make you say Candyman a bunch.
Oh, the Candyman can.
Because the Candyman can, because we're gonna call Chris Hansen.
Oh, shit. So, Dylan, what will we be discussing on our next week's podcast? What will the movie be?
Oh, man, we're gonna watch... Dun dun dun! The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Now, Dylan, some of our listeners may be confused why we picked the movie called The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Because it takes place in Halloween Town. Come on. Nightmare Before Christmas. The whole thing, Santa gets kidnapped and Jack Skellington. There's lots of his girlfriend is like a Frankenstein type monster. There's limbs coming off. There's gross bug man, sack bug man. It takes place in Halloween Town. It's a Halloween film and a Christmas film. It's both. But we're in Spooktober, and I don't want to watch any more body horror stuff for another week, so Nightmare Before Christmas. Also, it's in Kingdom Hearts, which is terrible, but that's also a fun fact, I guess.
Look at that. Our podcasts are combining into a multiverse now that we're speaking about Kingdom Hearts again.
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts, Chris Hansen. What other through lines do we have? Urban Meyer.
Artificial intelligence.
AI.
Oh, Urban Meyer. I'm surprised someone else in the NFL got fired before him.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
he had to be fired.
That's all the memes
I'm not
right
even.
now.
You know what? I'm not even gonna say his name because he doesn't deserve it.
What?
Don't say his name, Dylan. Exactly. Bleep bleep.
John Gruden. Oh no, I'm getting emails with slurs on them now.
His name doesn't even deserve to be
No.
uttered.
He's also the most overrated coach of all fucking time, and I thought that before this happened. But this is not a football podcast. This is a movie podcast called The People's Review Podcast.
Where can these fine people find us, Dylan?
They can find us on the internet at peoplesreviewpodcast.com. That's our website. We also got a Twitter account called The People's Review, DA People's Review. We're also on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, and YouTube. We got podcasts on YouTube in case you like watching a video of an audio file.
Who doesn't? Put it on the background while you're at work.
Yeah, and it doesn't get mixed up in your algorithm, and or it gets mixed up in your YouTube algorithm. But anyways, none of that stuff matters. What matters is that you are listening to this, and we like talking about movies, so visit us on the next episode where we're talking about another movie called Nightmare Before Christmas, where we get into another wacky adventure with Jack Skellington.
This episode's gonna end. Shoo-be-doo-doo-doo. Gonna end. This is the end of the podcast. Shoo-be-doo-be. CandyMan, 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 CandyMan.